Late this evening, U.S. Navy and Air Force units successfully defended against an Iranian attack on the USS John C. Stennis. The attack consisted of a dozen Iranian aircraft, including 8 Russian-built Su-24 bombers. Multiple U.S. aircraft were shot down during the attack, however reports indicate that almost all Iranian aircraft were destroyed. There were no reports of damage to any U.S. Navy vessels. The attack came as officials in Tehran condemned U.S. attacks on Iranian military in the Persian Gulf and vowed to retaliate. Those officials also raised the prospect of escalating Iran's nuclear weapons production, another issue ratcheting up tensions between the two sides, pushing the region toward all-out war. Tonight, I will fly a strike mission as a singleton package to destroy electrical production facilities at the Kang Power Station and the Bandar Hamir Power Station. I will launch and fly to Waypoint 2 to refuel from Shell 1-1, a KC-130 from Al Dhafra. I will then proceed to approach the first target at low level from Waypoint 3, flying below 1,000 feet AGL to avoid Iranian radar located inland near Lar Air Base. I will use a pop-up delivery of Mark 84 2,000-pound bombs on Target 1, then continue to Target 2, remaining below 1,000 feet AGL, and perform another pop-up delivery on that target before turning south and egressing the area as quickly as possible. Hello again. Welcome aboard. Welcome back aboard, that is, the USS John C. Stennis, and welcome back aboard my F-18. I've just finished starting up, and we're about to taxi over to the catapult for launch. I'll get those wheel chocks removed now. I think I already gave a reasonably good description of the mission profile. In short, we're heading into Iran at low altitude to bomb some power stations. We will be refueling first, though. Those wheel chocks are removed. Alright, give me my high gain nose wheel steering, please. And we'll taxi over to Cat 2. Does seem to always position me at the start, so if I make a really sharp right turn, I line up with this thing pretty nicely. So, just let her coast on up to the bogey. That'll do. Whack the launch bar down. Hook up to the catapult. Once that's all in position, we put the launch bar back up. I will very quickly run through these checklist items to make sure they're all done. Wing, spread and fold, trim, set for takeoff. Got a pretty tail heavy, because we are pretty heavy. Air brake should be in. Hook is up. Never say should be. Is the air brake actually in? Yes. Lights. I'm actually, only the beacon is on, and I'm planning to turn that off probably when we fence in at the latest, because you don't want to be flying into combat with your lights on, boy. And apart from that, I think we're good. So without further ado, let's run her up to full afterburner, because we're quite heavy. Trucking 4 2,000-pound Mark 84 bombs. And off into the night we go. Gear up. Flaps up. Pull her out of burner and aim to level off at 500 feet. Oh, there's 500. Blew through it a little bit, but whatever. Wait till we are 7 miles from the boat, I think, is the standard for that. Drop down a little bit. And then we'll whack in waypoint 1, then waypoint 2, and we'll head off to the tanker. Let's see. After takeoff, gear up, flaps up, lights. Now I'll turn my lights off. Because why not? Hopefully the tanker can still see us. Pitch, radar, pitot heat, blah blah blah. Nothing really worth worrying about right now. Alright, that should be far enough from the ship. Whack in waypoint 1 and start climbing. Let's pull up my data card for this. I'll actually run through it here. So, we'll be at 18,000 feet for air-to-air refueling, and then the rest of the mission, pretty much until we're coming home, is flown at low level to avoid Iranian radar. I think this is going to be very fun, and will be a tad like, well, a bit Flight of the Intruder-esque, which is an okay movie, but an excellent book, by the way, which I'm very much prepared to recommend. What's on my comms page? I will actually bring up Shell and Overlord on the radio, I think. Keep climbing, keep climbing. I don't think I have very much else to say just now. Let's bring up the FPAS page. Save a little fuel on the way to the tanker, not that it matters very much. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think I have very much else to say until we hit the tanker. Wow. That's rather pretty, isn't it? Don't think I have very much left to say until we hit the tanker, so I'll probably come back then. Funny thing, I was pretty sure the briefing said the tanker was going to be a KC-130, and this is definitely a KC-135, but no matter, no doubt it can pass gas just as effectively. Are we close enough for pre-contact yet?
Return pre-contact?
No, because of course we're not. Well, alrighty then. Now, on the radio, they said their airspeed was 230, so we'll see how it pans out. I seem to be closing in on it quite quickly at 235 here. I should really actually slow down. Am I close enough yet now?
Pre-contact. Cleared contact?
Yes, okay. Still closing at 230. Alright, let's slow down a little more. It's probably doing more like 225. Yeah, let's try 225. 223. No, keep coming, keep coming. Really getting dazzled by the lights. I wish Buddy would actually turn his nav lights off. Oh. Actually, I can see the basket quite well without the NVGs. Well, we'll try that then. Okay. Come up just a little wee bit. I think 224 is the speed we want to go for. That way we're closing at about 1 knot. And... whoop. Just bring it on over. Whoop, 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 whoop. Missed. Okay, back off a little bit and try again. I think the tanker was just finishing up a turn there. That might have been part of the stuff up. Alright, get stabilized a few feet behind basket. And we'll try this again. Closing in nice and slow. Come on up and just to the right. Contact. Goody. Saddle up to the tanker just a little bit, not too close. And we're taking fuel. Shouldn't need very much. We didn't burn a whole lot on the way over. Yeah, our internal's almost full already. We have 1 belly tank on this mission as our external fuel. And to be honest, with how far we need to go on that belly tank, I'm kind of glad they're sending me off on my own with no ball and chain wingman who could just light the burners and burn up all his fuel. Yeah, they'd only get in the way on a mission like this. So, we go on our own. Also like the typical mission profile of the old A-6 Intruders, but there you go. Low-level incursion at night on their own. Yeah, bit of a theme. Anyway, internal fuel is full, and external fuel is full. Whoop! Basket just about went in my face. Put our knob away. Call up waypoint 3, which, if memory serves, is actually our initial point. So we gotta get serious here. I will just get us back up to speed here. So we'll drop below 1,000 feet on our way to waypoint 3. Now I'll run through my items, start running through items to fence in now. We'll make sure the radar is on silent and the TACAN is turned off so that we're not emitting anything of any kind whatsoever. I'll double check that the strobe light is off, which it is. Shouldn't have any external lights on. Nope, don't think so. Alright. Let's head for waypoint 3 then. I'm also going to get our weapons set up in just a minute here. I'll get some of these displays configured as I would like them. And we got a little ways to go to drop down to 1,000 feet, but I'll still try and be reasonably expeditious about it, as long as we can do so without crashing into the sea. I did put our knob away, right? Yes. I don't need to say anything else to the tanker? No. Overlord's on one of our radios? Yes, so they can call out anything. Let's flick this on to channel 1 for now, why not? Whoops, blew through the turn a little bit there. Alright, while we're descending, I'll get our bombs configured here. So, mode, I'll do a CCIP delivery, nose fuse, instant. That should be it, really. Apart from, actually, let's get this stuff figured out. With each press of the button, I will drop 2 bombs. Multiple of 1, an interval of, say, I don't know, 50 feet between them. Should hit some different stuff nicely enough. And I'll actually deselect that for now, just so that the dangly CCIP pipper is out of the way whilst we're underway here. I'm actually going to get the VGs on so I can see where the land is. For now, NVGs are indispensable on this mission. Yeah, I know, altitude, we need to be nice and low. Let's drop this down to, well, actually no. I want to see any Iranian fighters on the data link a ways out. Actually just going to verify all the electronic warfare side of things. Is my data link on? Yes it is, okay. No worries then. Now 44 miles from waypoint 3. I'll make sure we're nice and low long before we would come within anything resembling Iranian radar range. Hopefully. I don't actually know how far their radars extend out to. Perhaps seeing a single aircraft heading, roughly speaking, towards them suddenly drop off the picture would be slightly suspicious. We'll see.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1.
Speaking of which...
847 for 180 at 24,000 flanking.
Whoa! Okay, slightly low there. 347 for 180. Yeah, the sea rushes up at you quickly. For 180, that'll be well inland. I think there's a MiG-29 base, like, quite a long ways inland. Possibly their F-14 base as well, we'll see. Well, I'm actually going to briefly use the autopilot just so I can run through some other stuff without having to worry about crashing into the sea. I'm going to briefly check the FPAS page and verify roughly what our most efficient speed is at this altitude. Not that I really care, but it's roughly Mach 0.51, so I'll just write that down and bear it in mind if our fuel situation gets kinda iffy, but I'm not too worried. I'm gonna drop below 500 feet here. Actually, do we have a speed per the flight plan that we should be at during all this? No, actually. Well, that's fine. Other than we have designated times on steer point, but I don't think that's really very important. We'll drop to 400 feet. And I can see lumps of land over there, so that's interesting. Master arm's gonna go on, just so I don't forget later.
Overlord, Dodge 3-1 is approaching waypoint 3, descending to low level and going EM silent.
Overlord.
Alrighty, and yeah, we should be completely silent with regards to any kind of emitters on the aircraft. I should have that figured out already. So I think we're good to just carry on towards the coast at this point. Enemy coast ahead. We're approaching waypoint 3, which is the initial point. Ooh.
349 for 150.
349 for 150. That should be well inland, and I don't think we need to worry about it right now. We're approaching waypoint 3, which is our initial point. The first target is at waypoint 4. Once we pass waypoint 3, in fact, I'm going to start the turn now. I'm going to shut off the autopilot and hand fly the rest of the way in. So, when we're a couple miles out from waypoint 4, I will pop up and we will roll in for a CCIP delivery of 2 of our 4 bombs onto that first target. Is roughly how that's going to go. Hopefully I can spot the power plant on the way in. I could also designate the waypoint and then undesignate it prior to bomb drop, but that's just extra work, so hopefully I can actually acquire it visually first. We'll see. The radar is turned off for now. I will turn it on at the same time we pop up, just so we have the ground radar so that the CCIP pipper will function properly. I'm going to flick us into radar altimeter mode. I have the radar altimeter set to beep at 250 feet. Well, that's the default. Which will hopefully keep us from crashing into the sea. Anything close enough to be on data link? No. So just that contact called out about 150 miles over that way, which hopefully will be in and out before that contact can really get to us, but we'll see. I do intend to be in and out of here as quickly as we can. 247 for 80. That's a little closer. We'll probably see that pop up on the data link pretty soon. I have it set to a radius of 80 nautical miles. Now 16 miles from target. Trying to maintain about 400 feet. Just so as to be nice and low but still have a little bit of a margin of safety since it is pretty much pitch dark. I can see the lights of towns on the Iranian coastline though. So that's interesting. Now 12.5 miles to target. Airspeed is nice and fast. Alright, just so that everything's set up a little bit in advance, I'll call up the bombs and turn the radar on briefly. 70, eh? Well, if they're flanking, then they haven't been turned towards us, so they possibly don't know we're here yet, although this radar emission might tip them off. Oh, there's the power plant. Okay. Now 7 miles from target. Looking good. Okay, now 5 miles from target. I'm going to peel up to one side and brake up into a climb. Set ourselves up for that bomb run. At a roughly, I don't know, 20-25 degree dive should be ideal for putting bombs on target. Okay, we have our CCIP pipper.
Altitude. Altitude.
Put your nose down a little bit here. Alright. And bombs away. That might be slightly long, we'll see. Boom! That looked like it was right on the power plant, so that's all good. Call up waypoint 4. Which is 15 miles away. I'm going to leave my dangly pipper queued up just so that there's less work to do. So it looks like we got something anyway. But, bombs on target. Whoa! Slightly low. See if I can spot our second target here.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group 065
70
at
still.
1,500 flanking.
So not too close. What am I looking for? Is it in the town?
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, Bra 316.
I'm gonna briefly designate that actually.
Flanking.
That's not very helpful.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, Bra 3-1.
I don't see the target. I'm going to... Hang on, how far out are we? From waypoint...
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group 067.
No, waypoint 4, damn it. Okay, we're still 10 miles out.
500 hot.
No need to pop up. Wait a minute, did I just screw up my INS? Oh boy, they keep adding new features to this airplane and I never can keep up. What have I done? Waypoint, oh no, it is waypoint 5, that's the target, you dummy. Okay, where is it then? Has it passed off that way? Yeah, I think it has, okay. Drop down low, you're going to be visible. Okay. I'll get myself a little bit of distance and then I'll turn back towards it. Alright, make a nice wide turn here to give us some distance. Stay below 1,000 feet at least. I've kind of stuffed the second phase up a little bit. I was hoping to be a little more slick than this, but oh well. You know what plans are good for. What am I looking at here?
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1,
Come on, keep turning.
470 at
4 miles to target, should be straight ahead. Yeah, I really don't see anything over there.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group 064.
What am I looking at here?
At 2,500, flanking.
Is... Okay, designate waypoint 5. Because I don't see it. Is it in the... Is that designated at some bogus altitude now? I don't want to circle around here. I don't see it. I really don't. Don't get so high. Hang on. Oh, stop climbing, you dingo. Hang on. Give me my briefing. What does the second target look like? It's along the road, and it should have those big old chimneys on it. Okay. What am I looking for then? Oh, there it is. Doi, ya dingo. Okay, now pop up. Is that it? Yeah, that's it.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group.
Are you sure that's it?
460 at 2,500, flanking.
Designate it just in case.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group.
Altitude.
064, 460 at 2,500, flanking.
Is that it? Okay, just slightly cheaty here. Is that it? That's a gas station, you dummy. Okay, reference the road. Where's the damn target? My navigation system is being profoundly unhelpful. I'm just gonna fly straight at it and see if I can overfly it properly here.
Dodge 3-1,
I have a feeling my INS may have become slightly misaligned, and that might be why I'm not finding it. But we'll see. I will just fly right over what's designated. No, there is nothing there. Okay, so I'm gonna need to find this visually. That is a gas station. What's near the road? Hang on. Waypoint. Okay. Waypoint 5 isn't the next target. That's where I went wrong. Okay, proceed to waypoint 6, which is the IP for the second target. Okay, that's a delightful screw up. If I'd read the flight plan, I would have known. Well, read it more carefully, that is. Anyway, keep us below 500 feet. And we'll just carry on as best we can. 5 is egress, 6 is IP, and 7 is target number 2. So, no biggie. We'll flick the radar back off for now and get rid of these gubbins just so I'm not so distracted. And I will just be serene and calm and carry on. But yeah, there you go. Lesson learned. Should have reviewed the flight plan more carefully. I'm not sure if we've been detected. Ooh. I see contacts on that data link though. Looks like at about 40 miles. We might have to deal with those. They probably got called out by AWACS and I just wasn't paying attention. Ooh, they dropped off now. Well, we'll see, we'll see. I'm going to stay as low as I possibly can in the hopes of not being detected. Okay. Approaching waypoint 6, we'll call up waypoint 7. 15 miles to target.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, Bra 329, 460 at 60.
And I will designate this waypoint just so that I can spot the target easily and right away.
Dodge 3-1,
I'll get
Overlord
everything
1-1, pop-up group 064.
set back up for our bomb delivery here.
At 2,500, flanking.
I think I see a building in that diamond.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group 066, 445 at
45, 66 to
2,500,
45. Yeah, that'll be those ones on the data link there. Well, at least we'll get our bombs on the second target before we need to worry about them. I'll pop up at about 4 miles, I think. Close enough. Alright, rolling in. I'll just have to be ready to evade any anti-aircraft fire that comes up. Undesignate. And bombs away. And turn. And have a look at that target.
Overlord, Dodge 3-1, bombs on target.
Goody.
And heading for
That
the
looked
bomb.
like a hit.
Copy that. There are two groups closing in you from Lar and Bandar Abbas, so don't waste time.
Roger.
Yeah, I'm pushing her up to mill power and heading to waypoint 8 to egress. I'll just try and avoid them if I can.
Overlord 1-1, pop-up group 065, 435 at 2,500, flanking. Dodge 3-1, Overlord
9 miles to waypoint 8. I
335,
think we definitely put bombs on both targets, so that's all good. Still flanking. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna catch me. And if they do, I'll drag them out of their own airspace. Yeah, still tons of fuel, so making it home should be no object, even though I'm running full mill power right now. Just to get out of Iranian airspace as quickly as I possibly can. So, once we passed waypoint 8, we are theoretically able to climb and head home. But I'll probably make that call based on what's showing up on the data link and everything else.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group
Where those fighters are and everything.
445
Call up
at
waypoint 9 now.
2,500, flanking.
We'll just clear these hills. I believe we are over,
Dodge 3-1,
oh, what's the big island called south of Bandar Abbas? We're over that anyway.
450 at 2,500, flanking.
Yes, I know I'm low. Don't worry about it. Okay, 66 miles to waypoint 9. We are outside the threat rings of the Iranian SAM batteries, at the very least, so yeah. Keshan Island is the one to which I was referring. I'm going to stay low for just a little bit longer. I'll throttle back slightly to save some fuel, though. But I suspect we've made it out scot-free. All bombs dropped. That's all good. Maintaining 400 feet. 043 for 60. Flanking. Yeah, I don't think they ever got a solid radar fix on me and where I was or anything like that. Speaking of which, take that back to standby for now. Yeah. Flanking, flanking, flanking. They don't know where I am. 450 feet. 55 miles to waypoint 9. I'll climb at some point here. Pretty stars to the NVGs and all that good stuff. Tomb, Kochak. Yeah, maybe I'll wait till I'm past all those nominally Iranian islands over there, and then I'll pop up. And we'll head back. Since I think that's Greater Tomb over there, the place that shot the SAMs at us a while ago. At least I think it is. Yep, it is indeed. So, yeah. Seems to have been thoroughly neutralized by now, though. But we'll stay away from it just in case they were hiding anything. Stay low until we're well outside the range of short-range SAMs, anyway, that might be there. Because it was a bauxite system that I destroyed when I was there, or SA-11, if you will. Once we're past Greater Tomb, we'll definitely be clear of anything Iranian, as it were. Any electronic signatures coming from behind us? No. Alright. I think we're good. We're good to climb up to altitude, save some fuel for the trip home, and be reasonably pleased with what I've done. We've flown in and out of heavily defended Iranian airspace more or less scot-free, so yes, I will push my luck now that I think I'm away. Yeah, kiss me arse! He says 004 for 100 miles. Yeah, whatever. You can't touch me now. You can just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk where the neon lights are pretty. How can you lose? The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, and go downtown, or to Iran, as the case may be.
Marshall 010, marking ops 065, 450, Angels 90, state 5.7. 2,500, flanking.
010, Courage Marshall, Pace 3 recovery, CD1 approach, expect final bearing 251, altimeter is 29890, 010, Marshall motors, 71, radio, 21, DME Angels, 6, expected approach time is 45.
010, 010. Marshal on note 7121. DME, Angels 6. Expected approach time is 45.
010. Brief back correct.
Alright, so I just called that we were established at Angels 6, which is our designated marshal altitude, and we're coming up on 21 DME, which was our designated distance. I'm actually going to call commencing as soon as we hit 21 DME. I'm not going to bother holding in the marshal stack, even though it's not our designated push time yet, because I know for a fact that I'm the only one up here, and that I don't really actually need to worry about that very much. So, commencing.
010. Commencing. State 5.3.
And
altimeter
per
9.88.
Overlord, per the case 3 recovery, we want to be at 1,200 feet by the time we hit 10 DME.
Radar contact 20 miles. Expect final bearing 251. 010. Switch approach.
Overlord 11. Pop-up group 044 4200 at 2,500. Flanking.
And we should be able to make that altitude benchmark easily enough. There is a proper rate of descent for it. I don't remember off the top of my head what it is, though. Oops. Either way. Oh, and we passed through 5,000, so I should have called platform.
010. Platform.
I think I'm doing the case 3 properly. I haven't reviewed it super recently, but hopefully it's all reasonably hunky-dory. I should have us already configured, more or less, with the exception of gear and flaps for landing. I've got the hook down already. Anti-skid is off and hook bypass is set to carrier. Actually, I'll double check. Hook bypass. Yeah, anti-skid is supposed to be off. Okay. Goody, 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 goody. And passing through 14 DME, we should be able to hit that benchmark still. Says, I'm going to steepen my rate of descent a little bit, and come left slightly, just to get right on that beam there. I think I see the lights of the ship very faintly.
Pop-up group 045 4210 at 2,500. Flanking.
Bring the boards in and level off at 1,200 feet, still at 250 knots.
Dodge 31. Overlord 11.
Do occasionally check my chart here.
4210.
Once we pass 10 DME and have gone a little ways past it, I'll actually get configured for landing. We'll get on speed and everything with gear and flaps down. Okie dokie.
010.
Not sure when I'm supposed to check in, actually. Oh, I'll do it now.
010. Checking in 10 miles.
I think I did that right. Okay. Final bearing 251. I've already got that written down, so that's all good.
010.
Ooh, we are slightly left of the localizer now. Let's make sure our ILS is turned on, actually. Channel 11 is what that should be.
010. Final radar contact 8 miles.
Goody goody. I'm going to start slowing down and getting on speed. Okay, that's back through 250 knots. Gear down, flaps down. Maintain 1,200 feet until 3 DME.
Overlord 11. Pop-up group 045 4210 at 2,500. Cold.
Don't climb, my dear.
010. ECLS lock on 6 miles. Say needles. 010. Up and left.
Okay.
Dodge 31. Overlord 11. Pop-up group 046.
Alrighty.
420 at
Come on.
2,500.
Don't let her drop. Adjust the trim slightly and level off at 1,200. And just fly the needles, I guess. At this point, we should intercept the glide slope at about 3 miles. I don't think I need to say anything else until we call the ball, if memory serves. Make sure that the brightness on that AOA indexer is turned way down, because that caused all kinds of trouble last time. I can just about see the lights of the ship. We're more or less lined up. Slightly left for line up, I guess. But I already knew that from the needles. I'm going to turn the HUD brightness down slightly as well, actually. Yeah, thank you. Just verify the HUD is down, because the last thing I want to do is forget that. Ooh, stay level, stay level. It's a good opportunity to be nice and gentle with the throttles. And there's the glide slope. We can start down gently. Get that mouse pointer out of the way. There we go. Picking up the ball already. Well, we won't fly the ball just yet. We'll fly the needles for now.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group 046.
Let her up slightly and then come back down, and we are nicely on localizer and on glide slope. I don't think it's actually called a localizer on a carrier, but never mind. Oh yeah, this is looking good. Looking really good. I might not even have to give myself a therapy session during the approach, like I usually seem to have to with these carrier landings. Just make sure that that's ready for when they tell us to call the ball, which should be momentarily here. Lined up nicely. Very nicely. Yeah. Everything's coming together right now. Oh, yeah, it's all coming together.
On bypass. On course. 010. Hornet ball. 4.6.
Yeah. I have an AI to glance at my fuel gauge for me. I guess we just reference the ball now. At least we can. Slightly high. Let her down a little.
Dodge 3-1, Overlord 1-1, pop-up group 046 for 220 at 2,500 knots.
Okay. Number 4 wire, that was really smooth, even if we got slightly high towards the end. I really have no complaints about that recovery. That was one of my best. Like I've said before, I do prefer the Case 3 in many ways to the Case 1 because it lets you fly a nice long final and get everything established, get all the kinks worked out. Anyway, I'm just going to roll up here, fold up the wings, and I don't think you need to see the shutdown really, so all I'll say is that has been Mission 8. I think it went reasonably well with the exception of the whole mess up around waypoint 5 and not realizing that that wasn't actually the next target point, but oh well. I'll be sure to review the flight plan more carefully for the next mission, which will be the last mission since this is a 9-mission campaign, and I'll be back with that sooner or later, hopefully sooner. But until then, that's all really. Toodles.